Greetings, my friends. Welcome to my history with Memorial Day. And this is more of a tribute. The pictures in the video is taken from many national cemeteries, but mostly from Arlington. I always have felt peace at looking at all those stones while I played honors. I have seen the graves from all the way from Europe with the 3rd Armored Division Memorial that I played in Margraten, Holland, and a lot of funerals all over our nation. I chose the music Fanfare for the Common Man by Copeland because I played this while in the Army bands in many types of ceremonies to include Memorial Day. I remember helping to pick out which of the trumpet players would play with me. It's a little tricky to keep the unison parts in tune, and they had to match my tone. It's a very powerful piece. As a young child, even before my mother married my stepfather, I have always been a patriot. I loved our rich history. I was a member of the Yorkers during the 7th grade and beyond. This was a New York history group that was prevalent in the schools back then. In my very small town in upstate New York, we would start off Memorial Day at the school's gym auditorium. We had a few speeches. A lot of the time it was my stepfather. He was a retired Navy chief and a Korean War vet. Then we would march with the high school band towards the cemetery of the town. I would play taps in 2 different places. First, the American Legion, and then the cemetery. Wish I had pictures. However, I had Grok kind of give me a depiction of what this would look like. Yes, back then I had long, dirty blonde hair, longer than that, but those were our school colors. Not very accurate, but you get the idea. I would always think of all the patriots that had lost their lives, starting from the Revolutionary War, World War I and II, Korean War, and Vietnam. I find it odd to think of just people that think of anybody that died. These are the people that sacrificed for us all, no matter what your belief. On Memorial Day, I really think of the man who introduced my mother to my stepfather. He was a Navy petty officer, was a friend of my mom's. I think he used to go to the club where my mother would dance burlesque. She was a single mom, was a police and fire dispatcher by day, and she still danced to jazz in a burlesque club at night. His name was Jimbo to us. I remember him to be a very kind man. He told my mother he had someone that she should be with, even though he wasn't her type. One weekend, I remember the first time my sister and I saw our future stepfather. He was still a little drunk from the night before, and I guess there was a fight at the club. Anybody that would enter our apartment, we had a low-rent townhouse apartment back then, anybody that entered it, he would pull them to one side and say, "Hey, were you there?" And we scared the crap out of us. And then he passed out on my mother's bed, and he was snoring very loud. My mother left with her friends, and my sister and I was pretty scared. Jimbo came back and brought us some Burger King to eat. I had Grok do another depiction, and that's kind of close. Gives you the idea. Of course, my sister's older than me. But anyway, he reassured us that he wasn't someone to be scared of, and that my stepfather would be a good guy. That was 1965. In 1968, my stepfather got stationed in Groton, Connecticut. Before we left, I remember being told by my stepfather that Jimbo had a hard time passing the chief's test. And then he volunteered for Vietnam. I don't know when he actually left. I asked my mother, before she died from cancer, if Dad ever found Jimbo. When I graduated college and then I joined the Army, they went traveling for a while, and my stepfather was locating his sailor buddies. My mother said that they had his Social Security number. However, they could never find him. He is the first person I think of on Memorial Day. That kind petty officer that brought my sister and I Burger King to reassure us that we were safe. My last story is about a song that's a two-edged sword for me. It has been named the Vietnam song from the 60s. I remember hearing in 1968 at 10, first thinking of Jimbo. It was For What It's Worth by Buffalo Springfield. Fast forward now to 1990. I was in the cavalry regiment and shipped out for Desert Shield. I had changed my job to tanks. After arriving at the Port of Jabal, we were all in the hangar waiting for the tanks and equipment to come off the ships. I was looking at all the cots, personal gear, flak vests, CVC bags, and all the personal weapons that was around me. For some strange reason, AFN was only playing Vietnam-era music. When I heard For What It's Worth come on, I said to myself, is this real? Or am I in a movie? It was so surrealistic to me. I had Grok give me another depiction, and it's not accurate, but you get the idea of me being in the hangar. And also, reason why I have no pictures is because we were ordered not to have any cameras, couldn't take pictures. We are also ordered not to have anything religious and family pictures. The latter I couldn't abide. I carried with me on my dog tags my crucifix, my wife's St. Christopher's medal. I had a Catholic missal, which I tucked away pictures from my wife and mine, our wedding, and my 10-year-old little girl, and my 3-month son. I also had a paperback Bible and my rosary from that I received when I studied the faith. So this gives you an idea. The next picture about this is after we picked up the and went to the West Winds. I mean, we didn't go to West Winds at that time. After we went to our camp, after we got all of our gear, we were in a compound, and our first sergeant didn't want us to get too chummy with our crew, So they segregated us by rank. This was a depiction of the E6 tent. My wife had bought a Sony multi-band radio and sent it to me. Whenever I could listen to, or we could listen to news, we would all huddle around and see what was going on. Are we going to be doing something, or are we going to be just sitting here? That's what we were thinking. But also, I would put it on the BBC on shortband or shortwave and listen to better rock and roll. I also listened to Peace Radio Baghdad. They actually had better rock and roll than AFN, and I kind of laughed at all their propaganda. But I made a video of this using public domain pictures. I wish I had my own. And I did find a couple that were actually pictures from my regiment. But it's all about, I mean, the pictures that remind me of Desert Shield and Desert Storm during that era. And I put the video to the Mona Lisa twins playing For What It's Worth, their cover by Buffalo Springfield, and they were playing it live from the iconic Cavern Club. So, here it is. Yes, that was the Mona Lisa twins playing their cover of For What It's Worth in the iconic Cavern Club. I want to thank you all very much for letting me share my experiences with Memorial Day. I really hope that you all get to think about some of our past wars and think of those who gave all. I gave just a little bit, but they gave all. I wish everyone to have a beautiful and wonderful celebration. Things that I remember in small town USA in the 70s. In our small town, we would, after the festivities, we would have clam bakes and sometimes even fireworks. I don't think we do that as much anymore. Thank you all for keeping our music alive. Peace. Stay safe. And Godspeed. When we together